Imagine navigating the lively streets of Berlin in the early 1920s, a city pulsating with the rhythm of post-war recovery and vibrant culture. Yet lurking within this urban energy is a dark secret that has been scrubbed from the pages of history. A secret that whispers the name Karl Großmann. My friends, brace yourselves as we unearth the atrocious deeds of the man who turned Berlin's back streets into haunting tales of terror and cannibalism. This is Karl Großmann, the Butcher of Berlin, a name that should instill fear in anyone who loves true crime and unraveling dark histories. Welcome to another spine-chilling episode of Cannibal Killers. Grab a seat. You're in for a harrowing, unforgettable ride. Born in 1863 in the Prussian province of Posen, Großmann's early life was a tale of hardship and brutality, setting the stage for his future monstrosities. He grew up in an era fraught with economic and social turmoil, a cauldron that brewed numerous troubled souls. Karl's childhood was marred by neglect and abuse. He bounced between foster homes and survived on petty crime and vagrancy. Sadly, society's failure to provide him a stable foundation played a crucial role in shaping his aberrant psyche. The embers of Großmann's twisted cravings grew stronger as he aged. He frequented temporary jobs, carefully staying beneath the radar while his impulses simmered. As we journey through his life, it's evident that the line between Karl the Butcher and Karl the Cannibal Killer eventually blurred beyond recognition. By the time World War I devastated Europe, Karl had cemented his identity as a shadowy figure selling meat and sausages from a dingy apartment tucked away in the working-class district of Berlin. But let's not be deceived by the simplicity of his trade. Großmann's job was a macabre facade for something far more sinister. His apartment, you see, bore witness to horrors unimaginable to the ordinary mind. As war-ravaged Berlin meandered through the struggle of reinvention, Großmann prowled its grimy streets, preying on society's most vulnerable. Prostitutes, orphans, and women facing destitution. What happened behind the closed doors of Karl's apartment-turned-butcher shop was nothing short of a living nightmare. Allegedly, he would lure his victims with promises of work or food, only to subdue them with brute force and unspeakable violence. Urban legend even suggests he sold meat from across the threshold of his death room. Can you imagine unwittingly buying sausages, with origins too horrific to fathom, from the very hands that silenced innocent lives? An apt, albeit grotesque, metaphor for the war-stricken times, where people knew too well the taste of despair. As we deconstruct Karl Großmann's life, it's vital to question how he managed to evade justice for so long. In a post-war Berlin frantic with chaos and rebuilding, it was all too easy for such atrocities to slip through the cracks. However, fate has a morbid way of revealing concealed evils. It all unraveled in 1921 on a fateful August afternoon, when tenants of his building reported strange noises and a foul stench emanating from Karl's apartment. Local law enforcement arrived, and what they unraveled was a scene reminiscent of a horror novel. Großmann's apartment was a grotesque butcher shop of death. Pieces of human flesh, bones, and blood-soaked tools told a story of cannibalism, murder, and sheer savagery. The meat stock Karl often sold had, in fact, borne human origins, a revelation that appalled a city already grappling with the aftermath of war. Further investigation exposed not just Karl's proclivity for murder, but an extended history towering with victims, estimates ranging from 20 to over 100, though exact numbers remain speculative. Such a staggering toll begs one to reflect on the realities of post-war isolation, desperation, and disregard for those living on society's edge. Carl Großmann, caught red-handed amidst his butchered victims, faced arrest and inevitably trial. Yet here, his final depravity presented itself. Before judgment could be passed, Carl hanged himself in his prison cell, cowardly evading the gallows, leaving behind a city haunted by questions that would forever remain unanswered. What drove Carl's dark desires? Did his troubled upbringing fuel his violent thirst, or was he purely born into monstrosity? History may only speculate. Today, the notoriety of Carl Großmann persists in eerie whispers among Berlin's oldest quarters, a chilling reminder of humanity's most cruel depths. It emphasizes the disturbing reality that, under certain conditions, the veil of civilization can be torn asunder, revealing the grotesque capabilities within. Are there more Großmanns lurking in the shadows of our modern concrete jungles? Let's hope not, but remain vigilant nonetheless. We must remember history not just as a series of disjointed horrors, but as teachings to steer our collective conscience toward the light. So, as we conclude today's harrowing tale, reflect on the dual nature of human potential, the annihilator and the guardian. Carl Großmann's story is not just a chapter in our Cannibal Killers series. It's a lesson, a dark mirror reflecting our responsibility to foresee and forestall the rise of such entities. Today, remember the faces lost to Carl's malevolent cravings, and let their unmarked graves stir a vigilant spirit within us all.